From the News Channel 5 Network, this is SportsLine.
Hey there, SportsLine on your television. Steve Laban here with you. Glad you are here with us on this Tuesday night on News Channel 5 Plus. Pretty much an open show for you tonight. 737-7767 is the number if you would like to get in. We got a big night of basketball going on. Vanderbilt, Tennessee, both on the road tonight. Commodores trying to bounce back after losing to the Vols on Saturday. They've now lost 3 in a row in SEC play, trying to get on track against Georgia. Tennessee with the big win here. Jordan Bone with the breakout performance, career-high 23 in his return to Nashville. The Ensworth product and the Vols now on the road tonight at Ole Miss, trying to generate something and get a little bit something going. Also news from the NHL today, PK Subban was at morning skate today with the Predators. He went through his first full practice since exiting the lineup 14 games ago yesterday. So positive signs that Subban is close to returning for the Preds, but it will not be tonight. He is still on injured reserve, and when they drop a puck in an hour in Vancouver, he'll be out of the lineup. The Predators, picked up Brad Hunt today off of waivers from St. Louis. He's a defenseman, kind of a journeyman, has played parts of 4 seasons in the NHL, seldom used part for the Blues this season, had 5 points so far, but adds some depth for a Preds team that's really been wounded lately with the injury bug. And this is a huge game tonight against the Canucks for their chances. Actually, this week is massive for the Preds. Coming into tonight, they are 1 point out of the Western Conference playoff picture. But they have like 3 or 4 games in hand on the Flames, who are 3 points in front of them. So they have a couple different chances to catch up with wild card teams directly in front of them. But they're also only 1 point in front of the Canucks, who currently sit in 10th in the Western Conference. So this is a big game tonight for the Preds, most importantly to get points this time of year, but also going against a team that is directly on your heels in the standings. Part of the issue for the Preds, I think we all sort of believe that they have it within themselves to just get going at some point and really make a run in the second half of the season here. But part of the issue is there's so many teams that are tightly bunched right there that you can't afford to drop too many games. You certainly can't afford to drop games against those teams, because that just makes it more difficult as you get to the stretch run of the season. NFL coaching changes, hires. It sounds like the 49ers want to offer their job to Kyle Shanahan as soon as he's done with the Falcons season, whether that be this week after the NFC Championship or after a Super Bowl run. Titans hire Frisman Jackson yesterday to be the new wide receivers coach. Also, Craig Aukerman will come in and be Steve Hoffman's assistant on special teams as they try to fix that after really a disappointing year for the special teams this year. By far the weak link on this Titans team in terms of the units this past season. Plenty of other things we can talk about as well. We'll get to some sound from some key players in the football world, I think, from last week. As we move along throughout the course of the program, can talk all of those things or go in any direction that you would like tonight as well. 737-7767 is the number. Let's begin tonight with Paul. Paul, good evening. You're first up here on SportsLine.
Paul here. Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Got 2 questions for you. Got a son. Is this only about college basketball?
Nope. I can
ask anything?
Anything you want.
All right. Well, my question is about college basketball. I got a boy. He just ain't any boy. And I want to get him to walk on somewhere. I want to ask you how. I'd really like to get him on at Duke. We're in Hickman County, and a whole lot of people don't make it down here our ways. How do you recommend we go about getting tapes out and stuff? And
I mean, the best thing to do there is talk to your high school coach or the kid's high school coach and say that the kid or your kid or whoever the relation is wants to go play college basketball. And hopefully the coach is equipped to help you put together a DVD or a link. I think most of them are digital now where you put them on computers. And that's great because you can just send it off to people, put it in their inbox and make them look. So, I mean, the big thing in this day and age, if you're trying to get recruited, is you want to, in basketball especially, is you want to be on AAU teams. You want to go around the country and play in some of these tournaments where it's not just your team, where you have to be in the right gym at the right time with the coach. You're in a gym with a bunch of coaches, and they see it. That's a huge thing. And then send out digital links or send out tapes and just cold call people and see. And then the other part to that, if he's going to be a walk-on, the big thing is he has to get in school. So make sure that he's doing his academic due diligence to be admitted to a place like that. Duke's one of the best schools in the country academically. So make sure you've got your I's dotted and your T's crossed to make that happen. Looks like Paul is off. 737-7767 is the number. You can call us up. Pretty much anything you want to go with tonight. Be happy to answer even your recruiting questions. Back to the phones now, and Kevin. Kevin, good evening.
Hey, Steve. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing well. Thanks for the call.
Hey, listen, I just wanted to call and wish you a Happy New Year, but I got two questions I wanted to ask you, Steve. Does the name Chris Jones ring a bell? We're talking about Saskatchewan Rough Riders head coach and former South Pittsburgh, Tennessee high school football standout and Tennessee Tech standout. Chris Jones is a head coach of Saskatchewan. Does that name ring a bell to you?
It does now that you... Chris Jones, you know, is a very common name, so at first I was racking my head, but now that you talk about the Tennessee roots and obviously being the head coach in Saskatchewan, I know who you're talking about now.
My second question is this, Steve. Why hasn't anybody in the NFL or in the college ranks offered Tennessee-born and raised Chris Jones a job? He's rebuilt franchises up in the Canadian Football League, and he's also, I believe, a two-time Grey Cup winner.
Yeah, he's done a great job up there. There's no question about it. I don't know for a fact, but Kevin, I think the biggest thing is for some reason there is a stigma about the CFL. And we've seen players come over and have big-time success in the Canadian Football League and then come into the NFL and at times be key contributors. We've seen a couple guys become stars at the NFL level. But I think there's still some level of a stigma about the game, the Canadian game, and the size of the field and the way they do downs and the motions and all those sort of things. I'd like to see somebody make a try with a guy like Chris Jones or someone else who's had success up there. I'd like to see if it translates. But I think for the most part, people have shied away from it because of the differences. And the only thing I can think of is that must mean that to a lot of football people in the NFL, they think the differences don't translate.
Okay, Steve. What about a Joshua Dobbs in the CFL?
Now, that's obviously he's going to try his hand at the National Football League. I think Josh Dobbs is a guy that is maybe a 6th or a 7th round draft pick, but if he isn't drafted, I think has a very good chance to sign a free agent contract and be in camp somewhere next summer. That's his hope. He wants to try and make a roster in this league. And I think he's got a shot to do that. But if he doesn't make a roster, absolutely. I think he could be a very, very good player in the CFL. We've seen Logan Kilgore from Middle Tennessee go up there, had a little bit of success this year with Toronto. And Dobbs' skill set with his ability to run the football as well as pass it, I think he's the type of guy who could go up there and have some success. Whatever level he plays at, the big thing on him is his accuracy and down the field. And certainly in the CFL, you got to be able to be accurate and throw the ball a lot oftentimes. So that's going to be the knock on Dobbs, that he'll have to address whatever league he plays in. But I think he has a future playing somewhere.
Okay, Steve, best wishes to you in 2017, my brother.
Thanks, Kevin. Happy New Year. Thanks for the call. We appreciate it as always. We're going to take our first break here. When we come back, we can get to more of your phone calls, 737-7767. And we will also get to Mike Mularkey, my sit-down with the Titans head coach at the end of his first full season with the Titans, and what a season it was. We'll get to that and more coming up after this on SportsLine on News Channel 5+.